First off, I want to say thank you for clicking on this video. I'm only going to be 30 seconds. Hold up. All right. On behalf of the whole C2C and the radio family and myself, we want to say thank you for investing your time. And I want to let you know, if you watch this episode and you keep watching, you're going to see a lot of growth, a lot of improvement, whether it be different camera angles and changing in the background. A lot of things are going to improve as you keep going. Also, this first episode, we had to get it started. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what Les Brown said. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So let's do just that. We hope you enjoyed the first episode. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first inaugural episode. I'm your host, Mike Terry. I'm in here with Mike. And this is Outside the Box with Mike Terry. Mike, so this is I know the background looks the same as the last seasons, but this is just an impromptu for right now. I'm not gonna do all that. Sorry. As far so yeah, this is a little last minute, but man, we want to get it started right. Just letting y'all know, basically, this is it's not super different, but it is different in the sense of we're going full throttle in a different direction. As far as the principles of this podcast is to make you laugh, educate you when we can, motivate you when we can. Not by force, but when we can. If we can walk away doing all three, we've done a good job. But this is gonna be, you know what I mean? It's positive, something to give you to look, something positive to get you encouraged if you need it, you know, something to make you laugh, of course, educate you, whatever, man. But gonna get right into it, man. Wanted to talk about what is the greatest form of comedy. But in order to decipher that, in order to determine what is the greatest form of comedy, we gotta explore what different versions of comedy are there. There's stand-up, number one. There's, well, let me not order it yet. Stand-up, there's improv comedy, there's sketch comedy. Those are the three that I came up with off the top of my head. But I know there's comedy movies, but I don't know if you want to put that in a genre. That's like films. But I think what improv, that's when, I've done improv before a while back, where you just kind of you put yourself in the scenario and you just improv. You act your way out of it. You act like it's real. You try to find the funny, and that has its place. I'm not discrediting it. I think it can be funny. Then there's sketch comedy where you got time whether it's a movie scene or whether it's, it's kind of like improv, but it's more scripted and stuff like that. And of course you got the opportunity to ad lib and stuff like that. Then you got stand-up comedy, time tested, consistent, stand up on stage with a mic, interacting with the crowd, telling your jokes, hearing feedback, looking at faces, good old-fashioned comedy, which I think is comedy in its purest form, So for me, for my pick, it would be stand-up comedy. If you have a different opinion or you feel like stand-up comedy is the best version of comedy, go ahead and write it down in the comments. If you feel different, write it down in the comments. We may not read it, but write it down in the comments. I'm just playing. But happy to be here. Also wanted to talk about stand-up comedy specials. Stand-up comedy specials been around forever, man. Been around forever. They're entertaining. I tried to figure out what was my favorite stand-up comedy special. And there's so many good ones. There's so many great ones. You got so many comedians that you could pick from who've had specials. Favorite stand-up comedy specials, I had to break it down into eras, so to speak. So there's I don't know if you want to call it the golden era. I'll just call it the older era. So that's like 80s and back, 80s and back around that time. So I have to say Richard Pryor live in concert. One of my favorite favorite stand-up comedy specials. Honestly, this is one that I can go back and watch over and over. And I get it. Sometimes you get a little insensitive to the comedy. Like you won't laugh on your 25th time as hard as you laughed the first time you hear it, but it's still funny. You can still recognize that it's funny. That's one. I love it because the relatability that it has today, and any time I watched it. Also, that one joke that he had where he was talking about him going hunting with his dad and him doing the sound effects for crunching on the leaves and stuff like that, and the whole joke about the bear being behind him all of a sudden. It was freaking hysterical, man. The heart attack joke, I'll always remember it. I'll always remember that joke, man. That joke was hilarious, man. I remember the first time I heard it, I was hollering. Man. So that was cool, man. And that's, once again, that's something that you can watch over and over. If you haven't heard of it before, go up on YouTube. I think it's on Netflix, so you can go ahead and type in Richard Pryor live in concert. Sit back and have a good time, man. So that's for like the 80s and back. For the 90s, I picked Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy. Always, I really like this comedy special. Once again, there's some relatability to nowadays. When I say that, I kind of mean police violence, but not to limit it. I don't want white people to feel like, okay, I can't watch it or whatever. But it's for everybody. It's for everybody to watch and enjoy and learn from. One thing that I found that's common, I think we've talked about it on the previous podcast, is whenever there's like a comedy special, usually the comedian, he's making jokes and stuff like that, but he has some kind of message that he's portraying, that he's passing on, whether it's, don't wait too long, or whether it's, you got to figure out what you believe in, or you got to find your happy place or whatever. There's usually some kind of theme or some kind of message they're trying to give the crowd, and I think that kind of speaks to the responsibility of a stand-up comedian when it comes to you getting to a certain point where you got your performance down, you got your confidence down, you got you know what you're doing. When you get to that point where you know what you're doing on stage, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I know that's something that I'm working on. For those who don't know, my name's Mike Terry. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 10 plus years now. Doing it all around upstate New York. I'm based here in Syracuse at the moment, but I think the furthest that I've performed is New York at this point, Manhattan, New York. But been doing it for a while, man. I've been going through learning lessons, because that's what you got to do in comedy. You got to, whether it be fall on your face or you sit back and watch what other people are doing and see what works, and then but you got to get up on that field, you got to get up on that stage and put the work in order to get better, man. So that's what I've been doing, just perfecting my craft and trying to take it to that next level, man. Trying to take it to the next level, help who you can, But yeah, Martin Lawrence, I really liked it. He had so many different jokes. He had the jokes about being in prison, trying not to be the tough guy in prison and stuff like that. How the loudest dude is the most likely to get raped, or I shouldn't say that word, but the most likely to get tapped. I'll say that. But that was a funny joke. He had some other ones. I love the physical comedy with Martin. Especially when I was growing up. He's my favorite stand-up comedian growing up. It was just always entertaining and stuff like that. So many different bits you can pull from that season, or not season, but from that special. It's pretty cool. Third, as far as the 2000s, was my favorite stand-up comedy special in the 2000s. I'd have to go with Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin, Dysfunctional Family. One thing I liked about this special was that not only did he, was he on stage and he's telling jokes, but he actually weaved in footage, in between certain bits and stuff like that, in between, certain pauses. So he would start to talk about a family member, and then it would cut to some footage of him speaking to that family member, or, the family member speaking about the relationship with Eddie Griffin, or certain times. And, it brought everything back into perspective, and it enhanced the visual, and that was kind of, I don't think everybody was doing that. I'm sure he might not have been the first person to do that, but it was pretty cool. And once again, this is a comedy special I could watch over and over and over, especially when I was heavily smoking way back. I remember me and my sister spending many, many times watching this, getting baked, just watching this and just laughing our ass off. It was a cool time, man. It's a cool moment. So many freaking jokes he did, like a Prince, not interpretation. He did what's the name? Prince impression, Michael Jackson impression. He had a bunch of jokes. I know he had some jokes about his Uncle Bucky and stuff like that. And I think he was saying he was on heroin or he was on something, but it was just freaking funny, man. And I don't know, it's cool. It was encouraging, especially watching that as somebody, I think, coming out of high school, especially when I was, I think I might have been still, when I was watching it, I think I was out of high school when I first watched it. But it was really encouraging because I knew, like, all right, I already knew this is what I wanted to do, stand-up comedy. And it was just, it'd be really encouraging seeing other comedians on stage killing it. And, it would, encourage me like, okay, I know one day I'm going to be doing that. One day I'm going to be going on stage. I'm going to be getting laughs like that. Not in a competitive way, but just in an encouraging way, which is pretty cool. And to any comedians out there, you never want to be trying to compete with other comedians. You want to be in competition with yourself. I know as men or women, we're also, we can all be competitive. Everybody has that gene, you know what I mean? But you want to make sure you point it in the right direction. I know. Well, I don't know if I want to get that real. I just know, I just try to avoid becoming bitter. That's my main thing in life. I just try to, if I see myself thinking something or, starting to move in a direction, I try to think about, all right, is this going to result in me long-term becoming bitter? And just if so, I need to redirect, whatever I'm thinking or, redirect my intentions but I really like that. I really like that, the Eddie Griffin comedy special. It was entertaining. It was funny. It was educating. I think, I don't know if I should reference the last podcast, but is what it is. Eddie Griffin, I like that he has an enhanced skill, I believe, at educating you but still making you laugh. Like not watering down the laugh for the sake of education, So whether it be talking about white supremacists or whether it be talking about certain laws or whether it be, immigration or whether it be history of blacks and whites, slavery and whatever, he'll educate you, but he'll always make you laugh and laugh hard. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's I know there's things that I want to do. There's the comedian that I want to be, and I know I've always wanted to be genuine and sincere and just true to myself. I don't want to be a copy of anybody. Like I remember when I was first, I was at the talent show. I'll do a little brief summary of. I gotta remember. Some people might see this for the first time and don't know me. They haven't watched every single episode and stuff. But I started doing stand-up comedy. Like for the first time when I was in high school. I think I was 16 at the time. Ended up, doing it at the talent show. And I think I was in the background, and somebody had asked me, I was like, oh, so you're going to do comedy. Okay, so you're going to be the next Kevin Hart, huh? I was like, nah, I'm going to be the only Mike Terry. I was like, I'm going to be the only. It was annoying me. It was annoying me because, it was one of those scenarios where they're like, oh, you a comedian or, oh, you going to do comedy? Tell me a joke. And then I had broke it down to him like, bro, like that's annoying. Like you play basketball at all? All right, I didn't ask you to start dribbling the ball in front of me, did I? Like just don't do it. Like it might be tempting, but just don't do the jump, man. I don't. That's what it is. But those are some of my favorites, man. Some of my favorite comedy specials. And I'll be honest. I was looking for one for the 2010s, and I couldn't put my stamp on one initially. The only one that came to my mind was Cedric the Entertainer, Live from the Ville. I like that one. I like that one a lot. I would just say like honorable mentions for the 2010s. Like that one's funny. I like that one a lot. That one's funny. There's like Deion Cole, Cold Hearted. I liked his. That was entertaining. And I like the fact that there's a lot of different comedians. You know, I know there's often that the idea of the one chosen comedian and stuff like that. He's the one that gets all the movies, gets pushed in front of the camera the most and all that, making all the money. But I like that there's still a lot of other comedians out there making it for themselves, not only making it, but getting their specials and stuff like that. And Deion Cole, he's been on, I was about to say Childish. Was it not fan? Blackish. He was on Blackish. He's on a couple other, shows and stuff like that. But that's one where I watched, episode after episode and, enjoyed seeing him on there. He was funny. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I liked his special. And I know there's other ones that I could think of and stuff like that, but more, a little more, if I wanted to waste a little bit more time, I could think about some more. But I don't know. There's, of course, Dave Chappelle. Enjoyed watching his specials and stuff like that. But I think, nah, man, I try to pick the ones that that make me laugh real hard. And I'm not saying Dave Chappelle doesn't make me laugh real hard. I've laughed hard and stuff like that at some of his recent ones, and but these are just the ones that I picked. These are the ones that I came up with. So if you agree, if those are three of your top three of like the older era from the 80s and back to the 90s, if you got a favorite for the 90s, if you got a favorite for the 2000s or the 2010s, drop it down in the comments. Also share, and subscribe. I got to remember to say that. But yeah, man, those are just some of my favorite comedy specials, man, stand-up comedy specials. Yeah, man, I think we need comedy. I think we definitely need comedy in this world, man. If for anybody who's awake and outside of the matrix, this junk can be a little depressing, but I just want to let people know, man, if anybody is going through like a down, because you are going to go through ups and downs in life, just do your best to stay encouraged, stay encouraged by just knowing that, where you are right now doesn't mean this is where you're always going to be, And it helps if you have a relationship with God or you have a vision of where you want to be or who you want to become. Although you may be in a down season, just try to hold strong to that idea, hold strong to that vision, hold strong to that belief, and just allow that to give you some encouragement. Try to find the positives in every day. The fact that literally, like, sometimes I'm reminded of everything that you can be grateful for. Like, just being able to walk downstairs and make yourself a sandwich, being able to walk around your whole house is a blessing. Being able to feel, some people got nerve damage. There's a lot of different things you can be grateful for, being able to smell, hear. Remember, not everybody can hear, It's a lot to be grateful for, man. You can walk around. Anybody who can do this, you can do this right here. You winning. You winning in life. You winning in life. But yeah, man. Not too much today. Just wanted to comment and get this started, get this new season started. Outside the Box with Mike Terry. We're gonna have a lot more episodes. You're gonna see a lot more changes, a lot more improvement. We're gonna have some guests this season. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be real fun. That's something that I strongly believe. I'm just saying what I'm saying, and that's something that I want to normalize. At least in this space. I'm not double talking. I'm not saying something subliminally. See, there goes my education. But I'm just saying what I'm saying, man. You know, now I want to normalize actual conversations. I watch a lot of stuff, especially on YouTube, and it seems normal to interrupt people when they're talking. So if I have a guest on here, what I want to make sure is, that becomes normalized is that the guest is somebody they're heard. Not only do they feel that they're heard, but they're being heard. They speak until they're, done talking about a topic. Likewise with me. And then when the person's done talking, the other person talks. It's junk is like rude. Like I feel like nobody like is lost. I remember being taught in elementary school. It's rude to interrupt somebody, but it's done a lot, man. And it's, whether it be talk shows and stuff like that, is normalized. But remember, people, stay outside the box. And what that means, like as a comedian, there's the box of, if you're a comedian, you're only supposed to talk about things that's funny, or you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. Get outside the box of what people think you're supposed to do, and do what you're meant to do. Like I'm blessed to have a lot of different interests, and I believe different talents and stuff like that. So, I'm of the belief that you should go after and pursue your full potential. A life that allows you to spread your wings and express and operate in your fullest potential. If you blessed to be like an artist, and rather like you write poetry or whatever, but you can also sing, and you could know how to fix cars, and you got a lot of different gifts. Got a lot of different gifts, man. Remember, man, you want to pursue your purpose in life. Your purpose, the version of that I got was, it's the thing that you love to do. Something that you love to do, that you would do for free, and then find a way to get paid for it. That's a way to identify your purpose. That's a way to live a happy life. That thing that you would do is your purpose. Steve Harvey says it a little differently. It's the thing that you do very, very well with the least amount of effort. But I just, maybe it's a little selfish, but I want people to be happy, man. Happy with themselves. Like it'd be great if we have more, as they say, nuclear families and stuff like that. Mothers and dads together, raising their kids and stuff like that, and love. I understand that the world is not going to be perfect. I understand that, but I think if everybody was pursuing their purpose, and had peace in their life, I think that might be what world peace looks like. That's just my opinion, Once again, just wanted to get this started. We'll get more in depth. We'll get more in depth, man. Happy to put this episode together. Appreciate Ken being in here with me. Sorry, I said Ken. Sorry. I appreciate Mike being in here with me. Make sure I got all my points. How to stay encouraged during the down season. Stay encouraged, man. This world will try to get you down. You got to resist, though. Got to resist. You got to have that fight in you. It's there for a reason. You are also here for a reason. So as you continue to pursue and try to figure out what that is, take it one day at a time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, people. All right? Yada, yada, yada. Appreciate it. This is streaming live on C2C, or not streaming, but this is on, you guys will see it. I'm feeling like I got to promote it, but we're just going to put this together. And I don't know why I'm prolonging it. It's the end of the episode. I'm Mike Terry. I'm out.